Well, Kenneth, first of all, I would like to thank the management of Radio 1 for finding it wise enough to invite me here as the second of that bill to be able to highlight some of the critical issues that pertains to the bill. Well, you know that in 2006 we put in place the Administration of Parliament Act. Before that, there was the issue of the Constitution that brought in multipartyism. So the leader of opposition in a democratic setting was put in, of course, to be able to provide an alternative government from the other side. And the Constitutional Article 82A is amended, provided for, gave Parliament the mandate to come up with laws that for the functioning and selection of a leader of opposition. So Parliament came up with the Administration of Parliament Act, up to 72. And within it, it was clear that the leader of opposition would be selected from the party with the highest numerical strength, opposition side. And so, incidentally, the parties then, the opposition parties then, seem to have preferred just appointing, because there was no time that they followed the issue of election. Because they were supposed to elect among that party with the highest numerical strength opposing government. So they preferred, the party president would just appoint a person, and then the speaker was just supposed to announce in the house. Not even fulfilling the current law as it is, the issue of election from among themselves.
You're sure it talks about election?
Exactly.
Okay.
I can read it. I can read it to you if you allow me to.
Please.
Okay. Let's go to it. And just I read for you. It's section 6. Section 6B actually. Subject to subsections 2 and 3, the leader of opposition shall be elected by the party in opposition to the government having the greatest numerical strength in Parliament. Get it? That is the current law which we want to amend.
And you say they have not been following?
They have not been following.
Are you sure?
100% you are part of this country.
I'm part of this country, but yes. I never attend those meetings.
Have you? No, because the media is always invited. Have you ever had maybe media being invited to Kavule and the election was taking place to elect the current one? You've not seen that happening. It has never happened. Get it? That they summon them somewhere and say now, okay, candidates, nominations, and that process of now campaigns or whatever they will decide, they have not been doing it.
Oh, so you want that level of competition? We
want that level of competition among all the opposition parties represented in Parliament.
Continue.
Yes. So subsection 2 talks of in electing the leader of opposition, the party to which he or she belongs may consult other political parties in opposition. That has not been taking place. In opposition to government. Yeah, there is a may there. The independent, but we want us in our new proposal, we want it as a must. The independent members of Parliament, they are supposed to consult the opposition party and also the independent members of Parliament. The person elected the leader of opposition the person elected the leader of opposition under this section shall take office upon formal announcement by the speaker. Just formal announcement. That's what I'd already said. Yes. So now, there are over about in total 147 opposition members of Parliament together with the independents. Of course, within it, NUPAS 48, UPC 12, FDC 9, DP 6, PFF 2, 101. Independents alone 69.
Which independents?
Do you know what? Maybe you need to understand what it means to be in opposition. My definition as an NRM member.
Okay.
I passed through primaries. Get it? And then the party, I won the elections. I was now a flag bearer of NRM. Now, if anybody comes up and is nominated to stand against me as an NRM flag bearer, those are people in opposition.
Okay.
Get it? Those are members of opposition opposing NRM. Because the law says opposing a party in the government. Unless they end up entering into an MOU.
And that's the very reason I was asking you.
Yes.
Which independents? Because majority of these people were elected as independents to parliament. Have signed the MOU.
Not all of them.
A majority.
Not all of them. They are about 27 that have signed MOUs with the NRM.
Are you sure?
Yes. So many have not yet. In fact, if I may not be mistaken, formally they have not yet even put pen and ink.
They did. We saw them at Shadondo.
They just invited them and they told them to hold on. Yes. Until they are officially introduced formally by the caucus. We have not yet had the first caucus.
So what's your overall objective of this bill?
The overall objective is to democratize the process of electing a leader of opposition. And more so to strengthen the administration of parliament.
What's the mischief?
The mischief is that in a leadership position, there has to be accountability.
Okay.
Accountability to who? You account to he who gave you that mandate. You get it? So in this case, if a party president sits somewhere and appoints you a leader of opposition, to whom do you account to in that office? You will be accounting to that individual who may not even be a member of parliament. But in this case, you are under the administration of parliament. You are supposed to be answerable to your opposition members of parliament. So if they are the ones who elect you among themselves, that means there is legitimacy within them, amongst you. There's acceptability and there's accountability, let alone exercise of democracy for everybody to participate in selecting you. So we just want to make it absolutely clear on who. But within it, we say these persons shall come from the party with the highest numerical strength. Opposition highest numerical strength.
But voted by all?
Yes, by all.
Opposition political parties. Correct. Represented in parliament?
Correct.
And the independents?
Correct.
All right.
Who are of course opposition, you know it.
All right.
Yeah. Because if somebody has already signed an MOU with NRM, he has no business going to participate in opposition matters.
All right. Before I go to Mr. Wanda for his comment on this, I want to put it to you, like you've heard from some people.
Yes.
You are fighting a proxy war. And this war has been occasioned by the leader of the political pressure group where you belong, that is General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, PLU.
PLU, Patriotic League of Uganda.
Yeah, who made comments on social media targeting the current leader of opposition, Joel Senyonyi, and said he will be removed. He actually said, Honorable Kabanda, start organizing on how we can remove Joel Senyonyi. And that's how this issue has been perceived.
So, in other words, what are you contesting? You are contesting the statement he made.
You are fighting a proxy war, proxy political war.
What do you mean fighting a proxy war?
This is not your original intention.
At the time when Lumu, you remember Lumu Bill? You mentioned it in your introduction.
Yes, I did in my introduction.
Had the General MK mentioned a statement? No, had he uttered the same statement?
No, he hadn't.
So why would you think it is the proxy war? Because that bill is still there. And have you looked it and compared it with this one? The difference is the time. The time difference is what only exists between them. You get it? But the similarities are there.
So you want to say
so you
this has nothing to do with the general's comments on
this is just a democratic struggle. He can also have his own right. He has uttered that statement in his right to participate in the governance affairs of the country. Yes.
Probably one would ask, why is it you are not the members of the opposition who could be agreed?
The good thing, the law allows a member of parliament.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But
So,
don't you think it looks a little bit?
No, if the law wanted us not to be the ones to bring any private members bill, then it should have been explicit on that.
All right. Let's go to Mr. Wanda. Mr. Wanda, you've heard from Honorable Kwalinga giving that explanation there. And I'm sure you as a legal mind and your colleagues in the fraternity have been following this discussion. What is your take about this initiative?
Thank you so much, Kenneth. Maybe Okwalga could help us. What's the equivalent of LOP on the other side of Parliament?
Okay, that is chief whip. Because, okay, a LOP is created by law as a cabinet minister.
Yeah, what's the equivalent?
And a cabinet minister.
Can I say the head of government business?
No, it's not that is a prime minister.
No.
He's looking at
I'm looking at the
level.
Equivalent.
No, the equivalent, you should say cabinet minister. And in parliament, administration of parliament, the equivalent of a cabinet minister is a chief whip.
Okay. Let's go with
government chief whip.
Let's go with cabinet minister.
Okay.
So, how about we bring a law that allows even the government chief whip to be voted on by everyone and not him or her being appointed by the president as a cabinet minister on that level. So, and why are we saying this? It's because you see, when you're bringing a law, you must be coming to cure a defect. Now, what is the defect in the Administration of Parliament Act with regards to LOP? I know the proponents are saying that LOP is not voted for, is not elected for, as part of what the law says. But you see, the appointment of the leader of opposition is majorly by the party with the numerical strength in opposition. Now, how they conduct that business of getting a LOP, that is their internal issue.
But he seems to suggest that the law expressly said he must be voted on, and you had me telling him that none of us attends those meetings to understand what goes on.
It says elected.
Is he elected from your experience?
It says elected. From my experience, at least I know with FDC. I'm not a member of NOP. Today I'm a member of PFF. But I know at least when FDC was with the numerical strength, the leader of opposition would be voted on internally by a particular organ. So the president then will not just wake up and say, I'm giving you so and so as the leader of opposition. Professor Ogenga, Honorable Betty Ochan, all of them. They were not.
No, he wasn't.
Then
it was Wafula Ogutu, Nathan Nandala Mafabi.
Nathan.
Winnie Kiza.
Then Winnie Kiza came in. I think Winnie Kiza must have been the last. So it was never appointed by an individual. They are elected by a particular committee. So there's an election. Now, I know this particular act is covering broad aspects, and among them includes even committee chairpersons.
But on that particular issue of electing the LOP, he actually says now they want all the other political parties that are in opposition, regardless of the numbers they have, to cast a ballot on the LOP so that they can together own the LOP, be able to hold him to account, other than him being answerable to the party only that gave him the instruments to office.
You see, the LOP, it's the same as the chief whip, the government chief whip. They are accountable to the appointing authority.
There's opposition chief whip in parliament also. So I think on the issue of levels, we don't know exactly where they are.
Because you see, when it comes to the opposition parties, they each have their whip. And then we have the LOP.
Even if you are one.
Yes, even if you're one, you become your own whip. Yeah.
But there is an opposition chief whip, and currently it is the Honorable from Busoga, Paul Mwiru.
Yes. Yeah. But you see, the point I was trying to make is once you want the LOP to be accountable to all political parties, indeed, the leader of opposition is not only accountable to the appointing party, because they lead the entire opposition. That's why they have ministers from all the opposition political parties.
His shadow cabinet.
The shadow cabinet. That's why you see whenever there are meetings, we've seen when they are protesting in parliament, the LOP does not protest alone with members from his party. It's always the entire team. Shockingly, we've never seen the independents joining in such matters. And maybe if we are going now to a little amend our law and remove independence, so that people should choose sides. You cannot claim to be an independent and then claim to be in the opposition. To me, that does not add up. So
indeed, you can't be an independent and then maybe sign an MOU or even belong to the opposition.
Yes, yeah,
you are a completely different shade of political opinion.
Because for me, an independent, you do not subscribe yourself to any political divide.
Indeed.
So I don't belong to the ruling government. I don't belong to PFF. I don't belong to ANT. All of you, your ideologies, I don't subscribe to them. I'm an independent mind. And when I'm in parliament, I'm speaking as an independent. I'm not whipped. The reason why we have chief whips is to have a particular line of engagement when in parliament. Now, maybe if in that law, we're also trying to amend the Political and Party Organizations Act to also remove independence completely. I know it's a affront on the right to association, but it's not an absolute right. So it can be curtailed. We can say in our politics you don't have independence. You must belong to a political party. Now we would support that bill. But if you're going to have people who are not in the opposition but want to participate in the activities of the opposition, because today we can participate in the activities of the opposition to choose the LOP, and then tomorrow we shall sign an MOU with the ruling party and we shall leave. So
tomorrow you will say I came here as an independent.
Yeah, I came here as an independent. But you see, you also bring you can choose the activity you want to participate in. And sorry, Honorable Kwalinga, but at times the crop of leaders we have, either today will make this decision, tomorrow they will change their mind. So at the beginning of parliament, we will have them voting for LOP. After voting, they will go back sign MOUs with NRM. After signing, after 2.5 years, they will terminate the MOUs, come and vote another LOP, and then go back. So to me, I think the best way we can resolve this issue is to completely remove independence, so that we get to know you're either in opposition or you're within the ruling government. And we think it's a targeted law. I believe they're targeting an individual, they're targeting a party, and to me laws should be coming not to target individuals, but they should be institutionalized, in the sense of, if we are going to have a leader of opposition voted on by all political parties on the opposition, then as I've said, we can have the leader of government business. That will call to amending Article 8A of the Constitution, which brings the Prime Minister as the leader of government. And we let the Prime Minister be a Prime Minister alone, and we have the leader of government also alone, a position standing on its own. Then a person can also be voted on. Thank you.
Spectrum on Radio 1 FM you've put across. You've heard from Council Wanda, his arguments. For instance, he talks about the issue of independence, where he says they came to parliament as independent, so you're pushing them into opposition.
The good thing at the beginning, I'd already indicated that anybody, for example, if a NUP is here and another party or individual comes to stand against that NUP candidate, that person will be taken to be in opposition to NUP. You get it? So is the person under NRM. If I am NRM member of parliament and there is another person who contested against me anywhere, that is a person taken to be in opposition. But I wanted to clarify the issue of government chief whip, that he said being the equivalent of the leader of opposition, that he should also be voted. No.
He actually says the Prime Minister.
Even the Prime Minister. Actually, the Prime Minister, the entire House has to vote.
Approve.
To approve, yes. That is still a process of selection. Get it? The entire House of Parliament, Prime Minister and the Vice President. As for the government chief whip, it is the appointments committee whose powers they derive from the entire house, and it has all members represented in parliament, including opposition. Actually, the leader of opposition sits there in the appointments committee. So the removal process of the lead of government business and the government chief whip is also clear. He can be removed by the house, and you've seen many other cases of cabinet ministers that have been censored. But for a leader of opposition, it is not provided for. It only talks about that the party that appointed him is the only one that can recall him.
Isn't that a process?
No, we want the entire, in case of breach of conduct or misbehavior, it should be the entire opposition body represented in parliament to also remove this person who could have become incompetent in a way. You get it? So these things we are discussing politics. And politics, it is politics that determines the rule of law, not the other way around.
All right.
This is what we should know.
All right, Spectrum on Radio 1 FM discussion. Just a little bit, Honorable Lupot, before Opolot, before I actually...
Lupot means the soil.
Sorry, before we go back to Mr. Wanda. Broadly speaking, your proposed amendment also looks at other issues. If you can explain them a little better, so that Mr. Wanda can get back to you, but also the listener themselves who are tuned to this discussion.
Okay, I think I've already highlighted the process of selection that involves selection for all the entire opposition participating. Now, the other critical issue lies in the removal vacation of office for LOP. The current law is limited in its provisions. It only gives the powers to the party for which the law belongs to move, or if that party ceases to be the one with the highest numerical strength in the parliament. Yeah. So here, that makes the law not to be accountable entirely in his performance of his functions. So our new bill proposes that whoever becomes LOP or whoever is elected as LOP must be accountable to those who elected him, and that's the opposition members of parliament in parliament. For example, we expand the areas, the grounds under which this person can be removed. Misconduct is one of them. Misbehavior is one of them also, among others. So, if the members feel that the behavior of the said occupant of that office is wanting, has brought, say, their standing as members of opposition into disrepute, they can come up with a protest and bring up the matter, and appropriate entity takes charge of, as per the law will define. Of course, the details will be defined on how the process will be conducted. Yes. And they will again, the same way they selected him is the same way they will now come up with a resolution that will be, but that resolution has to be supported by at least 3/3 of parliament eventually. Yes, it has to be supported by 3/3 of parliament when they have actually come up with the grounds that this person should be removed. So basically, those are the critical issues: the issue of his elections, and the issue of his removal. Removal is basically to make this person accountable. You should be aware, because if ministers are subject to be removed by parliament, if cabinet ministers, including the Speaker of Parliament and his deputy, they are all subject to be removed in case they misbehaved. Why not LOP? why not the leader of opposition? They should also be able to remove him in case he misbehaves.
Through a process within parliament.
A democratic process within parliament. Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Basically, one thing you need to know is that we are basically strengthening democratic governance in the country or in parliament per se. This is what we are pursuing, to strengthen it further, to make everybody accountable. Every stone should be turned and reshaped to this size.
Wanda.
Just to begin from where I stopped, especially on removal. And earlier on we agreed that LOP is equated to a cabinet minister.
Correct.
I think Parliament has been successful in one attempt to censure a minister, and that minister remained a minister, and she was reappointed again in this cabinet. So can we have the same powers to the appointing authority? So even if Parliament can censor someone, the appointing authority can decide to replace them or not. Why am I saying this? Yes, as we try to strengthen our democratic processes, we should not go to sleep in a sense of we are targeting this particular group of people. Because if you...
Why do you think they are targeting? This is the second time you're mentioning that word.
Why I'm thinking they are targeting, I mean, it came up in the last parliament, and eventually Honorable Lumu had to withdraw it because the term of parliament was ending. See, leader of opposition is primarily subject of the opposition. The opposition should know how they should be governed. The same way the leader of government business, government chief whip, ministers, is a subject of the ruling party, and they determine how they should be governed. Now, when we have, they're not even independents, but they are members from the ruling party who are saying, we believe you, the opposition, are poorly governed. So we need to think for you and bring you a better law that will make you to be properly governed. Then there is a problem. And especially if the previous attempt failed, and now there's an attempt where a pressure group, which is not sure whether it's NRM, whether it's independent, but we see people from the NRM and independents in that pressure group, now wants to claim that they think and love so much the opposition that they want to think for them. Then to me it's a targeted attack on the opposition and probably the party right now, which is the leading opposition.
Is it the current political party that has the majority in parliament that is being targeted on the opposition side, on the entire opposition?
No. To me, I think it's the current NOP as a political party.
So it's a target against NOP.
Yeah, because since 2005, this debate only starts in 2023, I think, or 2024, when Honorable Mu brings that bill. So in the last 20 years, we are saying that we did not see the injustice on the opposition, where they could not choose their leader of opposition, and you just get an announcement from the leading party that this is the next leader of opposition. So to me, it's a targeted attack on NOP as a political party. Yes.
How about the argument that the LOP is a creature of the Administration of Parliament Act, and therefore they belong to Parliament, and that the political party that appoints them should respect that particular fact? Because the office of the LOP is a creature of the Administration of Parliament Act. What would you say?
The office of LOP is...
The LOP belongs more to Parliament than to the political party where they come from.
Not only is it a creature of Administration of Parliament Act, but even the cabinet ministers are a creature of the Constitution. The Constitution is the grand norm of our laws. So if we don't have a safeguard on who should appoint the ministers, and we are leaving it to the president of the Republic of Uganda, we're not saying that he should give us the nominees, then we should vote as a country, because these ministers are for the entire country. They also sit in Parliament to bring government business for discussion. Then we cannot say that the leader of opposition is a creature of an Administration of Parliament Act, and therefore they belong to Parliament, and therefore members of Parliament should have a say in their coming into that position and in leaving that position. I have no objection to them creating a law in the removal of LOP. Yes, that one is okay. Create a law which is similar to how
the process, streamlining the process through which the LOP can be removed from office.
The same way you can sanction minister, the same way you can sanction speaker, then streamline that law in that process. But do not look at ways of how do we now appoint, because and this is what eventually will happen. I mean, if as PLU I want a particular person to be LOP, it is very basic. Go register in this political party, contest, come to Parliament, then we open up the nominations for LOP and we'll vote for you. So the leader of opposition is meant to check, is the chief checker of government in Parliament. Now, if that process loses its integrity, if anyone can become LOP, even when someone who lost in the NRM primaries contests as an independent and they come to Parliament, and then they are eligible to be LOP, then the position of LOP will have lost the checking strength it has. Because for as long as someone has been in NRM, their blood is NRM. They can change for various reasons, but their blood will remain NRM. So to me, and also probably the definition my senior brother was giving of if someone contests against a non-political party candidate, then they're automatically in opposition. I don't think that is right, because opposition is only if you are opposed to government. So if you're an independent person and you're leaning towards government, then you cannot say I'm on.
But you're already opposed to the government.
No,
you're the NRM government by going to stand against them. Yes, that's already opposition.
When you say that, you seem to create a picture that the only group that can be opposed is the NRM, but I can be opposed.
To differentiate between government and opposition.
But
yes.
Coming back to you, Honorable Okwalinga, from the argument given by Advocate Wanda, it's going to be very difficult for you to convince people that you are not fighting particular individuals with this particular proposal.
No, we are not. Because right now as we speak, there is an occupant of that office. You get it?
The question is, why now?
Reforms keep coming. Change is a fact of life. You get it? Change is a fact of life. And besides, we are all advocates of democracy. I told you we need to strengthen the democratic principles and ideals. If anything, you should really applaud us as PLU, that we are truly patriots. We love so much democracy to the extent that we want the LOP also to be accountable. A very strong LOP who is accountable, who in his mind, as he does his work, he is bearing in mind that, I have people who are watching me, behind me. So not only saying I have only my party president. As long as my party president is happy with me, there's no problem. No.
So you're finally conceding that this is a handwork of PLU.
Basically, I belong to PLU. What is PLU?
You belong to NRM. You are elected under the NRM.
PLU is a civic entity. These are patriots. Even you should be a patriot. Are you not a patriot? Don't you love Uganda? Don't you love your country? Anybody who's patriotic in nature.
I don't have a number in PLU. Probably you have one.
No, numbers in the PLU are just a limited of identification. A few of them are there. Not even more than 100 so far.
There's a very big concern about the amount of power PLU has when it comes to controlling parliamentary affairs. You know, people are concerned that a non-political entity is having this too much influence.
It is because if you are trying to assume that way, you should
I'm not assuming. This is what people are saying.
No, you should look at it from a patriotic point of view. It means that there is a new breed of leaders who feel that Uganda should be patriotic enough. Ugandans should be patriotic enough.
So those who are in NRM are not patriotic enough?
No, I'm saying there is a new breed.
New breed.
A new breed of leaders in this country that have risen above some of these mediocre things to the level of being patriots in the country. And that is what every nation should always aspire to, have a large number of patriots. That's why everyone, including the president, should be a patriot.
Should be a member of PLU.
Exactly. Should be a patriot and should therefore subscribe to PLU. After all, we are non-partisan.
All right. What are the chances that this proposal of yours will succeed? Do you have the numbers?
There are numbers. We have numbers because anybody who is a patriot, who believes in patriotism, definitely has to support this bill because we are promoting patriotism. But again, another thing that you need to be aware of, the Office of LOP enjoys budgetary allocations. Government budgetary allocations. How can such an office that enjoys government budgetary allocation not be accountable? It should have a procedure of removal in case there is a misappropriation.
I thought there's accountability inside Parliament. The Auditor General audits the books of Parliament and they do reports. So if there's anything wrong,
but you can't remove law as within administration of Parliament. Even if you find that he has misappropriated the fund, he has embezzled the fund, he has constructed apartments somewhere, in the current law, you cannot remove him. You can't remove him. It is only his party. What if they just picked that money and shared with one individual somewhere who appointed him?
All right.
So there should be a procedure of removing and checking this person, making him accountable to the rest of the opposition members for which he represents.
All right. Here are your quick responses before we go to Honorable or to Mr. Wanda. Very quickly, Honorable.
Now, first of all, I should tell those who say I should be ashamed. I cannot be ashamed to be a patriot. That's number one. And then number two, why they are claiming that why should we be following somebody who is serving military personnel? What issue and why should it be them leading this patriotic struggle? What the country and the world should know is that the number one patriots in society are those men and women in uniform. They are the true patriots who have sacrificed their lives for our own comfort in our houses. So we should therefore handle them with the appropriate care and give them the due respect that they deserve, because they have really sacrificed for this country. So I would therefore encourage everyone, when you see that we are following a general who initiated a patriotic entity called PLU, the earlier you come in to join, the better for your own self. You should hurry up and join such a noble cause that promotes patriotism in strengthening democratic governance in our country. Maza from Western Nile, the issue of talking about term limits. First of all, what you should know is that every democratic struggle begins with a step. This is the first step that we are taking, all right, to ensure patriotism. We saw us last time saying that this is a term of no sleep. This is a term of accountability. We don't want to leave any stone unturned, all right, in this democratic environment.
All right, let's go to Mr. Wanda. Mr. Wanda, your quick response and probably your closing remarks, because our time here is fast spent.
Thank you so much. I think one we need to agree is that patriotism is not just only said, it should be seen in your acts, and those acts should be leading to the good development, governance and democracy of the country. Where the Constitution strictly prohibits serving army and even public servants from the day-to-day general politics of the country. We have a country where the CDF leads a civic group, and
patriots, a group of patriots.
As I say, the patriotism should not only be said; it should be seen by your acts, and they are trying to shape the politics of the country the line that they want it to be. And I think as a country, we lost it the day we first had a cabinet minister who is a soldier. And I think that was the later on.
I was the PA at that time.
Later on, Nyakairi
was his PA.
And I do not think the Constitutional Court has even given us a judgment on that issue, because there was a challenge on whether a serving soldier can be appointed into cabinet. Some of us went to court. We've never got any judgment on that issue. So that's the day we lost the battle of servicemen being in our politics. And the rest is history. We just need to see how to resolve this at the end of the day.
All right. I must thank you, gentlemen, for creating time to be here to discuss this very important issue, and the listener for tuning in and contributing to this discussion. Tomorrow, Spectrum Extra, 2 hours of analysis of the top events of the week. Do join me then. But for me and the team here in the studio, we want to wish you a fabulous weekend. But stay tuned to Radio 1.